The province of Shaanxi in China is home to this famous road on the internet that is located in the cloud. It took China only 5 months to construct it. The construction of this route was at first conceived as a means solely to address the covert traffic issues that existed in more rural locations. Unpredictably, this road has also developed into a fairly well-known tourist destination. The structure of the road is multi-layered, and it has an elevation change of 350 meters both up and down. A significant number of racers go all the way here to test their mettle against one another and their vehicles. According to reports from international media outlets, this road in China has the appearance of a Hot Wheels race course in the real world. However, in addition to that, it is also capable of preventing forest fires and acting as a flood defense in mountainous areas. This bridge may be found in the city of Taiwan in the province of Shaanxi. The popular tourist destination of Tianlong Mountain, which can be found at an elevation of 1370 meters, was the impetus behind the building of this bridge. There are natural woodland sceneries in addition to Buddhist grottos that have been around for about 1,000 years. Every day, this location draws the attention of more than 20,000 tourists. In the past, the magnificent site could only be reached by traveling down a single twisting route. However, the road had been in a state of disrepair for a considerable amount of time, and the damaged portion of road was quite extensive. In addition, the route was situated in an area with steep slopes and high mountains, both of which created significant risks for drivers. Every year, this location is responsible for the deaths of a number of tourists. In point of fact, Taiwan has long served as a battlefield for military strategists representing a variety of Chinese factions dating back to ancient times. After all, the topography in this region makes it relatively simple to defend and more challenging to assault. After it has been inhabited for some time, however, it will be possible to get a greater strategic advantage after the new period has begun. Despite the fact that Taiwan has opened the door to its own chances for development, the topography of the surrounding area has become a barrier to the development of Taiwan. After all, due to the topography of the island of Taiwan, which includes steep slopes, a large number of roads, and narrow roadways, the city's traffic is inherently quite inconvenient. Before the completion of the Tianlong Mountain Highway, the only way to get to Tiangong Mountain was to take the Penchidon Highway. This was the only way to get there. On the one hand, it was rather hazardous, and on the other side, there would be some effect that it would have on the natural ecology in the area. Therefore, in order to promote the growth of local tourism in 2018, with the increasing number of people traveling and the government plans to build a second road to the scenic spot, the road was built in 2018 at a cost of nearly 200 million US. This was done at nearly the same time as the construction of the road that cost nearly 200 million USD. The engineering team finished it in just 5 months, and they were able to celebrate their accomplishment while looking down from a mountaintop. This road ascends, while simultaneously circling like a flying dragon. Along the route, there are a number of viaducts and tunnels, and the landscape generally appears to be very breathtaking and stunning. It is commonly referred to as the road in the clouds. According to the available information, the overall distance of the highway is 30 kilometers. The beginning point and the ending point are separated by a distance of 350 meters and have a height difference of 350 meters between them. This is equivalent to the height of a building that is 116 stories tall, which is the reason why there are so many sharp bends in this section of the road. The average height of a one-story residential building is 3 meters, so this is equivalent to the height of a building that is 116 stories tall. Having said that, however, a design of this nature does in fact provide a few challenges to the architecture of the bridge as well as to the whole construction process. In the beginning stages of building one, the construction crew built a temporary construction channel next to it to facilitate the movement of major construction equipment and the delivery of construction supplies. On the other hand, there are a lot of challenging inclines along the path, and some of them are as steep as 40 degrees. It is impossible for huge pieces of equipment to ascend without first being dragged up by a loader in front of it and then being pushed up by a loader behind it. Even some of the building materials that were needed for construction were carried on the shoulders of humans during that time. Because of the over 10,000 people that took part in the project, the construction of the road was finished in a relatively short amount of time. When planning the highway, the designer made sure to take into account the fact that there is a large amount of flora and mountains on each side of the roadway. This was done to ensure that the natural ecology of the area would not be damaged. therefore depending to variables such as the terrain, driving, comfort, and safety, etc. Yay! In the end, it was decided to take the form of a viaduct and implement a rotating bridge as a means of reducing the slope's gradient. Throughout the entirety of the procedure, a significant quantity of steel was utilized in the building of bridges, ties and launches, and viaducts, two of which are only 1 story tall. Both of them have a total of 20,000 tons of steel, with one having 2 stories and the other having 3. These beams of steel are all being prepared in advance. After the manufacturing is finished, it will be put together at the location where it will be used. Epoxy asphalt is used on this road instead of the more common type of asphalt, which is something that should be pointed out. This asphalt is not a straightforward form of asphalt, but rather a more complicated chemical composition that consists of an epoxy resin curing agent combined with matrix asphalt. The combination of components not only increases the temperature range that asphalt can withstand, but it also extends the amount of time that a pavement can remain in service and can even be combined with other compounds to produce a variety of effects on the pavement. The construction of this roadway included not only the prevention of forest fires and the protection of the surrounding forest, but also the incorporation of forest protection initiatives and tertiary protection measures while the building was being constructed. Therefore, the local ecology was not only not harmed by this project, but it was really improved as a result of this project. Because of its one-of-a-kind spring bridge design, the Cheonglong Mountain picturesque area now features the bridge as a prominent landscape feature, which has helped to effectively support the growth of the local tourism industry. One of the significant evidences that is given a great deal of weight. The bridge was constructed in under 5 months, although it was not open to traffic right away once it was finished being built. It took China almost a year to green both sides of the entire highway, with a total greening area of 130 hectares, and more than 1.1 million trees and shrubs were planted along the route. This ecological restoration of the damaged mountains along the route required a great deal of effort on China's part. The completion of the line was not formally placed into operation until June 2019, which was nearly a year later. After the bridge was finished being constructed, it quickly became a popular destination for tourists and enthusiasts of self-driving vehicles, particularly when traveling across the 3-story viaduct of T on Long Mountain. When you take a few significant twists, it feels like you're riding a roller coaster. This also piqued the interest of a great number of daring car gods who wanted to come here to demonstrate their driving prowess. In point of fact, quite a few automobiles go down this road on a regular basis. There aren't a lot of people living in this neighborhood. The majority of individuals that go along this road do so for the purpose of sightseeing and photographing the landscape. When everyone has passed, the 3-story raised area will become available. They are going to take it very slowly on purpose. The former exciting and winding route has been replaced by one that is significantly safer as a result of the increased speed of the vehicle because the road is now more even and pleasant. On the bridge, in addition to having the opportunity to enjoy the thrill of driving yourself, you can also take in the breathtaking views afforded by the mountains that are in the area. You can pay homage to the people who built the bridge in order to defend this recently constructed route by standing on it and experiencing the gorgeous rivers and mountains that make up the natural landscape. When driving to visit the bridge, tourists are prohibited from engaging in the activities listed below, as these are strictly enforced by the local authorities. To begin, do not park anywhere you please on the bridge. Every day there will be patrols conducted by the traffic police to reduce the likelihood of accidents. Second, you shouldn't just put trash wherever you choose, whether it be on Long Mountain, on this bridge, or any of the other beautiful places in the area. It is a part of the natural ecological ecosystem, and it is everyone's responsibility to keep that environment safe. Third, cigar butts should not be thrown carelessly by cigarette smokers, especially men. Since the weather in Shanghai is typically dry during the fall and winter months, the risk of forest fires should not be taken lightly during these seasons. What are your thoughts on this matter?